Welcome everybody to the Watchlist, your virtual weekly TV guide right here on the Latin Nerds Network. We're ready to talk about all the shows and films that got released on streaming, and of course, at the end of the show, let you know what's coming out so you too can create your very own watch list. Joining me as always to help give out the recommendations or non-recommendations for the week, as the case may be, is of course el Señor Jaime, aka Chewy. What it was, what it is, what it should be.
I'm gonna go. I thought you were gonna go, AKA Ted Lasso, but whatever.
Uh, Chewy, he's a little
I'm just
background
saying,
story. Chewy
just
coaches
saying.
little basketball team, young women,
Basketball,
aspiring women, and he is.
basketball.
I said soccer. Did I say basketball?
You said basketball. Like you must be thinking Final Four, dude.
Maybe I got to find a form online. Sorry, soccer or football,
Thank
as the
you.
case is the appropriate term. But yeah, well, you're not undefeated, are you? We won the last two
Yeah,
or three in a row.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
undefeated. So my little niece is going crazy. She's very excited too, and
See,
in the
she's
background,
excited too, man.
she's excited. Hey, honey. Okay, all right, thank you. Live shows, what are you gonna do? So let's get into it. It's a big week, so not a big week. Well, it's kind of a big week. A lot of shows to get into and all that. A couple of films that got released. I do got a bone to pick real quick on
Oh, here we go.
Peacock
Here we go.
show. It's a small little bone, not a
Uh-oh.
big one, small
All
one.
right.
On Peacock's
Which? Oh,
the
which one?
First
Bel
Prince,
Air?
the
Ah,
Bel Air.
Bel Air. Bel
Bel Air,
Air.
right? It's a
Yes.
good
Uh-oh.
show.
Here we
Enjoying it, of
go.
course. Yeah, second season. It's a quick little scene. As me as a gamer and all that, had to point this out. Where there's a scene where Carlton is in his room and his cousin, his other cousin comes in, and they're bonding and they start to play video games. Yeah, let's play. Like, all right, but keep in mind that Bel Air, obviously, it's high society. Though very well off Uncle Phil and Vivian. They got tons and loads of cash, right? So now they sit down and start playing this game, and they're playing Mortal Kombat. I love me some Mortal Kombat. The problem is
Which
it's
the version?
2023, and they're playing like Mortal Kombat like 4 or 5 or something for like PS1, PS2. It's like this old version of Mortal Kombat. Come on, guys, attention to detail, dude. The NK12 is coming out this year. At least give me a PS4. You got the money. The cheap ass Uncle Phil
They're playing
version Carlton.
Atari version
They're
of
playing that
Mortal
Coleco
Kombat.
vision, Pong. I saw him like what I thought was weird. I was kind of odd, but that was smart nitpick. I'm just joking. Now it's really good show this season. But anyway, let's get on to it, Chewy. So, movies. 2 movies came out. 3 really, but one. We're not talking about murder mystery. That's as much as I'll talk about it. Let's talk about the one Apple Plus, and that is of
Mm-hmm.
course Tetris, based on the true story starring Taron Egerton, who's no stranger to Apple Plus. Of course, he was in Blackbird, really excellent show,
Mm-hmm.
limited series on there you guys can catch. But here's obviously he plays a programmer who was instrumental in bringing the game Tetris to the masses, right, via
The
Nintendo and the
publisher,
arcade
yes.
publisher, right? Game invented in Russia, and during that time, this is right, towards the end of the Cold War, and obviously communism, Gorbachev, etc. For those who remember that,
Hmm.
but obviously it was no no small task to bring a game over here. The red tape literally, and all the shenanigans that go on. I'm sure there's some fictional dramatization added to make the story more interesting.
Even the car chase wasn't real?
The car
Damn
chase
it.
probably was not real. But that being said, a lot of it is real, and that relationship that it fostered with him and the developer down the road, actually
Hmm.
the game creator. But that being said, yeah, True, your thoughts, and let you go first as far as what you thought about this Apple release.
No, man, this was a fun movie for me to watch. I really enjoyed it. Maybe because I'm a little biased to that era, is where we grew up in. Obviously, we grew up with the Nintendos and the Sega, and obviously game with the advent of Game Boy and Tetris was one of these. I mean, one of these games that was like simple to play, but like kind of like chess, easy to learn, but a lifetime to master. And it's a simple concept, and how it was created, and the inventor, and the red tape, and you get to the inner workings of how publishing works, right? Video games and what goes behind the scenes, and making deals with the big boys, right? But I mean, I really liked that a lot, man. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, good film. I really enjoyed it. Very well paced. It's about 2 hours, but it goes by really
Mhm.
quick. There's a lot of scenes where they use pixelization, to kind of create the scenes and all that. Which, out of
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Tetris and all,
very,
which is
very,
pretty cool.
very stages. Stage one
Right,
through four, the
exactly.
characters. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's very interesting. I really enjoyed it, despite the car chasing, which was unnecessary. But fine, it's not a big deal. That's a small thing, right? I got my third act more exciting. I get it. But yeah, it's one of the greatest games ever. Let's be honest, right? Most popular games of all time, and really, this is the one where the Game Boy released with Tetris, helping it launch
Hmm.
into the stratosphere of God knows how
So
many millions and
handheld gaming morphing into mobile game
right,
essentially.
exactly, right into that age of mobile gaming. So yeah, so really cool movie. Really enjoyed it. Recommend for me, no doubt, and for you as well. Very fun film. I don't. And this is not one you don't have to know the game or be a gamer or anything to really be
Hmm.
interested in it.
No,
Um,
they expanded it enough. I mean, the game is simple enough, right? And the history starts in '88, but then gives a brief exposition flashback to the invention a couple years later, and then boom, it goes on from there.
no, exactly. So definitely, check this one out on Apple Plus.
Hmm.
The other film on here is Kill Boksoon. It's a Netflix Korean film. Not your bag, so I doubt you saw it.
Nope.
This one here is about a assassin, who is now obviously dealing with that and what's surrounding that kind of job, and raising a 15-year-old, 16-year-old daughter at the same time. So this one's got a little bit of John Wick, where she's, this world of assassins is kind of a part of an organization. And they have rules and things like that, not to the extent of a John Wick, but something close to it. And there's inner workings within the organization she's part of, and now she got caught up in the fact that they want her out and she needs to survive, etc., etc. While also dealing with the stuff that any mother can deal with a teenage daughter. If you guys can imagine how that's like sometimes. Very cool. This one I actually did like. Very well done. It's a lot of cool action. Very well shot. The choreography is pretty cool. It's a great imagery. And the visuals when it comes to I guess the final fight in the third act, which is actually pretty interesting. I enjoyed it. It's a good watch, very entertaining. Again, it's not going to change your life. It's not John Wick, obviously, but it's a well done action flick with heart that deals with some things that you don't really deal with in this kind of movie, with the whole daughter thing and what she's going through, etc., etc. Very cool. Actually, this is a good recommend for me. It's a good Korean, South Korean film. Again, on Netflix. Check this one out. I really enjoyed this one. Um, Next one up. Let's talk about the shows here. Rabbit Hole. This one,
Mm.
Paramount release. Actually, it got released on this past Sunday. I actually did get to review the first episode of you guys last week. I'm part of the second. I didn't quite finish the second. No, Chewy hadn't watched it when we did the show. You have seen it. Obviously, this one here is Keith Sutherland, of course, of 24 fame, many other shows. Lost Boys is still his
Mm.
apex as far as I'm concerned. And he is works in corporate espionage, I guess, to a certain degree.
Private sector
Private
espionage, I
sector,
guess.
right? He's in charge of, kind of getting information or setting people up, those money to lose the money and all that. And, he gets accused of murder when one of his, I guess, jobs goes awry, and now he's trying to clear his name. Chewy, my thoughts, your thoughts on this one.
No, man, I really like this show. It's like you watch a show and now after watching the second episode, you have to kind of go back revisit. Okay, what does he know? What doesn't he know? How it proceeds from there. A lot of twists and turns, a lot of guessing of what's going on and who's in it and who's not. But even with that, I kind of set it up with that very first episode, that first job they did, right? And it kind of set up from there. And I'm hooked, man. I'm after this, I'm gonna go watch episode three.
Yeah, like I said, I like the second episode too. A big review in the end. We finally got Tyrion Lannister,
Yeah.
who was promised in the trailer. Again, the trailer was really bad here. They didn't give any indication what the show truly is about, which is kind of a shame.
Hmm.
Because it's whatever it gave us, it's not that. It's something better by
Yeah.
far. Very cool
Actually,
show.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very entertaining. Very a lot of humor in there between Kiefer Sutherland's character and his counterpart, this female woman he meets, who he hooks up with, who now is also kind of thrown into the middle of this
Mhm.
shenanigans was going on. So that the back and forth is pretty good. I'm enjoying it. Very entertaining. It's a good show for Paramount. Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching the third episode as well. So we'll do that after the show, more likely. Actually, my wife wants to see it, so I kind of have to wait till nighttime. So it is what it is.
Wah, wah.
Next one here, The Great Expectations, of course, based off a Charles Dickens novel, um, on Hulu, right? Releasing a few episodes.
Correct.
I'm already off it. I ain't gonna get too far into it.
I,
I'm not
I
gonna fall
thought
down
you
the rabbit
were.
hole with this one, if you will. Yeah, I
Didn't.
saw the first one and a half. It was just too drab. Um, didn't
Very
quite
slow.
work for me. It does not working for my granny. So here she's also enjoying the show apparently. Yeah, it didn't work for me at all, dude. Just too drab, joyless. I'm out. I just did not get it. Not a well done show. Chewy.
Hmm. No, I mean it's very. I think it's too slow. I think they dropped what's it, 2 episodes or 3 episodes. Um, and the first episode I think was just completely unnecessary. They could have done that in a few minutes and kind of taken it from there. I'll still keep watching and see, but yeah, I could see where you would jump off because it's just I don't know, the pacing is just off, and they could have cut some of the. I don't know. I've
Yeah,
never read the book,
yeah. I remember a
but
story, and I didn't read the book, but I've seen other iterations of it. Um, it's okay anyway. I think it's one of his. I love Charles Dickens, but it's not one of his best for me. But yeah,
mhm,
it just didn't work. It's just a little. It's not. I need to enjoy in something, watching something like this, just a little, because it's a very dark show, right? It really is the way it's shot, the way it's filmed, and I get it where it takes place in I don't know 1800s, London, England, whatever. But yeah, it just didn't work. It's not for me
yeah.
at all. So yeah, and yeah, obviously you're not giving a glowing recommendation either.
No,
Um,
no, I'm not off yet, but I'll keep
I got you.
watching.
I got you. Apple Plus. Yeah, Tetris, which I liked. Now it's time for 30 minutes, 25, 30 minute little sitcom dramedy, if you will. Not sitcom, maybe not say that. The Big Door Prize. I think Chris O'Dowd, if I'm saying his name right, is the main star in this one. I think
I
that's his
believe
name.
so. Yes, yes.
But this one obviously is kind of a little science fiction dramedy about this small little town. Dowd's character, he's a teacher. He's got his wife and his child, and kind of lingering through life where and this machine kind of just magically appears in some little convenience store in the town, which everyone's going Google for because it's a machine that, for believe it or not, can predict your potential, right? Your life potential. You put a couple of money in there, put your social security number, little fingerprints, and it spits out what you're supposed to be or what you should be, right? What a teacher, principal supposed to be a motorcycle,
Biker,
a
a
biker,
biker.
and
Yeah.
someone, his wife, the main character's wife, supposed to be royalty, whatever that means. But now the whole town's going Google because now they're trying to aspire to what this machine is giving, right? It's a very existential kind of show, and he got stuck with being a teacher, which is what he does.
Teacher slash whistler.
Right, so he's already at his potential, so he's going against what this machine's doing, right? So Chew, your thoughts on this one?
I think it's okay. I was expecting something funnier, um, and I'm not getting it. I'm not getting those laugh out loud moments. Maybe, but maybe it's my expectation. Maybe I'm not reaching my potential. But I mean, it's still watchable. But I don't think it's up there with where I expect from Apple Plus. Because we obviously have much better shows than this.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I mean, yeah, by far. I mean, we're not
yeah.
Ted Lasso, obviously, but we've seen something shrinking, right? Another 25, 30 minute
Ah,
dramedy,
excellent
right?
show.
Which excels, right? And this, yeah, you're right. This one, it's not a bad show. It's fine. I think it's more of a drama than a comedy, to be honest with you. I don't know what it's really trying to be.
Yeah.
Um, it kind of just bypasses no one cares how this machine got there. It's just there, right? And so okay, fine, we'll take that for what it is, and we'll buy into it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know where show's going. It's okay. I get the concept of someone telling you this is what it's supposed to be, and you believe it and actually aspire to it because someone's telling you, or is that destined? Right? This is that age old question, right?
Mhm.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, Apple Plus needs to do better than this, to be honest with you. But it's not a terrible show. I will probably still continue for a couple more episodes and see where it goes, to be honest with you. But it's not high recommend. Again, there's a lot more shows now. If you just have Apple Plus, there's a lot more you can watch on there. If you're not, and
Oh,
again, if you're not watching
absolutely.
Shrinking, that's a show you should gravitate to immediately, right? Or above this one. But just okay. Again, not a big door price as far as I'm concerned. Hello. Next one here, we got a couple uns. Netflix, first one, Unseen. This one's on Netflix. It's a thriller, I guess, drama based off a Turkish show apparently, and
Oh, is it?
it was
Oh, okay.
remade. Now it's a South African show. It's still English for
Mhm.
the most part. It's about a woman who lives in the poor area. Her husband is getting released from jail, and she goes among the time he's supposed to be released, finds out he got released earlier that day, and she can find him. He's gone missing. A husband who kind of took the fall for one of the big crime bosses for a murder he didn't really commit, but he did it because he's a good shoulder and he's supposed to take care of his family, right? So now she gets she's desperate to find him, doesn't know what the hell's going on, and now she kind of goes into a world she probably shouldn't be getting into, and now bodies stop dropping. Right? It's not like a revenge story. This isn't John Wick, right? She just happens to situation to put her in a position where she has to off some people, right? For good reasons or not. But that being said, yeah. So I was looking forward to this one. I enjoyed it. Enjoying it. It's not great. It's a good kind of middle of the road kind of Netflix show. And I remember someone asking me, why we had a conversation recently about these shows that kind of like filler shows, or we call them filler shows, right? The good to fill in the blanks. It's like, why would you recommend a show as just filler when there's so much to watch? Agreed. But I will say this in our defense is that not everybody has Apple, Paramount, HBO, Amazon, Paramount. They don't have all the shows, right? They make
Yeah.
some people just I know just have Netflix and maybe Disney, maybe HBO, whatever the case is. So your options are not as grandiose as ours could be or someone else. So that being said, yeah, I recommend this show if you have one of those people who don't have a lot of options. It's a good show to watch. I'm actually enjoying it. I think I'm four in. It's not a great show, but it's well made. Chewy, your thoughts?
No, I mean,
I'll be back in one second.
yeah,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I've enjoyed it actually. It's an interesting story. It has enough world building and backstory and the characters that you want to care about, especially the mom, and obviously you start learning her backstory with the child and what happened and where her motivation is. She's not John Wick, but she's not meant to be. She's meant to be an everyday person, but from a realistic standpoint, you put yourself in situations, you got to do what you got to do, right? You don't have to be, the John Wicks are the only one for people in the world who can off someone. and so and she's just trying to get by, survive, and ultimately, I guess, find what is happening with her husband and kind of take it from there. But it looks a very interesting story. We don't get many shows from South Africa or with the South African cast or whatnot. So it's a different place. And I would say, yeah, I would watch it because I am enjoying it, in spite of the fact that it's still, middle of the road type of filler
Yeah,
show,
like
but
I
it's
said,
still
it's
a
a
good,
filler
good
show, but
filler.
it's
Yeah.
but it's a good show, right? Not every show's
Hmm.
gonna be great, right? If that's what you're looking for, then yeah, you're not gonna get every show. It's like when I go to the movies, 10% are gonna be great, the rest are gonna be fine. They're good and entertaining. This is one of those shows, no doubt about it.
Hmm.
The other is Unstable again on Netflix. It's again 30 minute. It's more of a sitcom, not a dramedy. Starring Rob Lowe, his son, which I didn't know until I started watching the show, is actually in the show as well. He's a secondary character. Rob Lowe is this genius in biochemistry. I guess he's got a big company.
Biotech. Yeah,
Biotech,
biotech.
he's a genius, but he's also eccentric, draped in eccentricity, if you will. And now things have gotten worse because his wife died within the last year, car accident. So now he's become unstable, along with being eccentric. So, and now the company's in jeopardy. He's not focusing. So now they figured, I guess the CFO brings in his son, who they're not estranged, but they don't get along too well. He lives halfway across the country. Brings him in to try to kind of help rein him in, if you would, and save the company. This one here is a show I'm probably gonna do an in memoriam pretty soon.
A
Cause
la Space Force.
like Space Force. Space Force actually lasted 2 seasons, to be fair.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than Boo Bitch, whatever that's worth.
Yeah.
It's better than Blockbuster, which was a terrible show,
Yo, God, yes.
but not that much better. And I'd be shocked if this gets renewed. This one just did not work for me at all. It's got some funny moments. I'll admit to that, and I laugh every so often, but it's just too silly for its own good, I think. And not enough heart for a show dealing with someone who lost his wife and his son reconnecting. It could have used some more of that in there. This just
It could have used some more shrinking.
a lot more shrinking, for sure. It just didn't work for me, so I just was not a fan. I think I saw 3 episodes and I couldn't do it. I gave it a three, like I normally
You're
try to
done.
do. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. It's not it doesn't work. Again, it has to be really funny, and it's not, and that's the biggest problem with the show. Chewy.
No, I mean it does have a few laugh out loud moments. I mean, so it does. So it is trying to be funny, and it does
I'm
hit
trying.
in a few instances, but not enough to justify being a great comedy. Because obviously with comedy, I mean, it's got to hit, and it's got to hit often, and it's got to give you a reason to watch. Right? I'm gonna sit down for 30 minutes. I want a good laugh and relax and forget the world for a little bit. Um, I'm still watching it because it's just probably filler comedy, but filler comedy is probably not something we should be recommending. To be
Agreed.
quite honest, I mean, if we're gonna recommend a comedy, it better be damn funny and it better
Yeah.
be good and must watch. Aside from that, I'm gonna take my 30 minutes and invest it elsewhere.
Exactly. At least something like with Unseen, it's a much
Mm.
better show, right? It's filler, but it's more entertaining. There's more to it. It's got
Oh
more to
yeah,
offer. This one doesn't at all, and it's
and
kind of disappointing.
I expected more. I really
I did, and I
expected
like
more.
Rob Lowe. I think he's great. I really
Mm.
do. But and he actually he does a good in the show. But some of his characters are just too silly and just like
Like one of the scientists, yeah, the one scientist is ridiculous. The manager is just
oh,
ridiculous.
they're ridiculous. A
It's
couple of the
terrible.
board members.
The son is actually
The
funny
son's the
because
best
he's like
character.
the one.
Yeah,
Yes, he's the one who doesn't want to be there, right?
right. He's
He's
the
trying
most
to.
real character. Everyone else just seems like a cartoon or a caricature,
Mhm.
right? That doesn't work. That you can't relate to. That doesn't work. So yeah, this is a disappointing. Not a recommend for me at all. Last one. It's The Power. This was another sci-fi based show based off an existing
Mhm.
property, a book, I believe, or a series of
A
books.
book that
A
is
book. Okay.
correct. Yes. Yep.
Of course, on Amazon Prime, 3 episodes released. Therefore, henceforth a week, one drop every week, one episode every week, I think.
Yes. Correct.
This one here is based off. We have Tony Collette, who's great. John Leguizamo, big fan
Hey
of him, all
man,
that. Ooh, I have you marked in
man,
the wrong
but
corner.
we gotta
Support,
represent. We
represent
gotta
the Latino
represent.
action, which is good. I have a daughter, teenage daughter, who's Latina as well. So we're all for that. So basically, it's in a world where I guess for whatever reason, there's a new organ that's evolving right within these young teenage girls that gives them the ability to wield electricity through the hands, whether shoot it out or various
Some way,
versions of
yeah,
that
in
along
some
those lines.
version, yeah.
Right, and it's kind of focusing on, and this girl's like around the world from many sides of the world, right?
Hmm.
Many sides of the tracks as well. And the world's discovering what's going on. Toni Collette's kind of the force behind it. She was part of the one who discovered what's happening, trying to get the world to understand what is happening, how do we deal with it. A lot of things happen. Planes are crashing as a result, not on purpose, because girls, don't know how to control the power or whatever. So that's kind of the premise. Chewy, your thoughts on the first few episodes?
So I wasn't sure after the first episode, if I was gonna stick around for this. Cool, honestly. So I'm glad that it dropped a few. But after
True.
watching episode 2 and 3, I was like, okay, I'm hooked. I get it. I like where this is going. This makes no bones about it. This is in your face allegory to society, right? And you're using the power as a representation, but you can apply that to many things in life. And so it's very cut and dry in your face what it's trying to say and portray. But they do it in a way that's where you kind of forget about that for a second, and you're just looking at mutate at this mutation. It's called a mutation of some sort, and you can kind of see where this is going right now. How this starts small and it kind of just snowballs from there. And it's very very well done. I really like it a lot. With how so far 3 episodes only, obviously.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I like the show. It seems like it's taking its time to get us to where we should be going, which I'm concerned.
Well, but that's why I'm glad they dropped the 3 episodes because I think
That one would
yeah,
have been enough. I agree with you there.
maybe two, maybe two. I mean, you
Maybe
gotta.
two, but even I mean, I like the show. I think it's a good show as well. I like the idea of it, the premise behind it. I'm afraid, and my concern is as you're watching it, what the show is trying to get at, what happened to the very end, right, and get us hooked for the second season. Where can we just get to the point a little bit quicker? Right, we got 3 episodes in, and we're still kind of this girl staggered. We get it, right? Girls are being affected in certain parts of the world.
Yeah, I
We
mean, because
imagine they're gonna come together or
there's
something.
a
I don't
lot of
know.
yeah, but I mean, obviously it's very. I mean, they start in Seattle, but there's obviously someone in the UK, someone. I mean, basically it's a global.
Nigeria. It's all over the
Yeah,
place.
all
It's
over
not
the
just a
place.
few
Yeah,
girls. It's like almost every teenage girl. Not every. Almost
yeah,
like the
and
majority of
so
them.
and so when
Whatever.
you're trying to weave together very different regions around the world to create a story, okay, you need time to kind of show that develop a little bit. So I'll forgive it for not just sticking with one and okay, let's go two
No,
episodes.
that's
Let's
yeah,
get
and
to the
again,
action.
I would assume there's a point to where they're going with it, right? And who knows, right?
Yeah.
And then so, but that's interesting. I like the idea. I like the premise. I mean, these kind of like sci-fi shows on Amazon have been very hit or miss. Just been okay. One with the one with the time traveling one, I think was okay. I forgot the Paper
Which one?
Girls. There we go. Um,
Yeah,
that was
unfortunately
okay, and
canceled,
I think that got
but
canceled
yeah.
anyway. The one with Chloe Moretz
No,
released
Peripheral.
recently,
I like
Peripheral,
that one a lot. Yeah.
kind of disappointing. Didn't quite hit. So this one is doing a little better than that, but I'm curious to see where it goes. But so far, I think this show is better than those easily. I think it's got not premise isn't as interesting as the other ones, but it's being executed better. And it helps to have Tony Collette and Johnny goes on with them, no doubt about it. Let's be honest, right? 'Cause this one, Claire Moretz is fine. I like her, but there's no one else in that show. This one's got more star power, more gravitas to the performances and all that by individuals here. So I like
Well, I
it.
mean, they also had, I think it was Scott Wolf.
Yeah.
He's been a show, but also we also got a Ted Lasso alum in
Oh, that's right. That's right.
the
Yeah, he's
report.
a reporter.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
He's in
So
there.
like, hey, man,
Yeah, it's
good.
good. He's getting to
Now that Ted Lasso is over, it's like you got to find something else, man.
He's got to eat. You gotta eat. So he picked it again. It's a good show thus far. I'm enjoying it. Not great, but it's good. Filler, right? Exactly what we talked about, right? For me, it's like in the same part as Unseen. Premise wise, is much better, but execution about the same. That's so far. But this has more potential to be really cool. Let's see where it goes by episode 4 or 5. And I'm hoping it really picks up.
Yeah, because this is gonna get dark real quick.
Oh no, yeah, you know one of the characters. She
Mm-hmm.
looks like the path is set before, and it's not a good one,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's gonna find that out eventually. So yeah, cool show, good premise. I like the idea, and did just enough to keep us engaged until we keep watching some more. So that one's on one of the recommends for us this week. So that's it for this week. I'm saying a lot of different stuff. Next week is gonna be a light week. Oh,
Oh
I'm
well,
sorry.
hold on. But before we get to that, so I finished Night Watch,
Oh,
man, and I'm so glad it's renewed for season 2. That was a
yeah.
very, it's almost borderline great show because it was
You
so
mean Night
entertaining,
Agent, right?
but not there.
Yeah, you
Yes,
said
the
Night
Night
Watch.
Agent.
Okay,
Yes,
just to be
what
sure.
did I say?
No, no,
Oh, sorry. Well, it's part of the Night Watch, but he's the
right,
Night
yes.
Agent. Sorry,
It's the
yeah,
night agent we talked about last week, which we both really liked the show. Yeah,
yes.
but yeah, you're right. Go ahead.
And so, I mean, this is like right at the cusp of much watch, and probably compared to some of the shows we've seen, probably in that category. Already
Mhm.
been renewed, but it ended great. The pacing was fantastic. Great action. Great. I mean, you don't have to build. It does a great job of building tension with each episode. You know
Well,
what's going to
there are
happen,
twists
right? I
and
mean, you
turns
know
in
how
terms
this is
of
going to go,
some of the
right?
reveals, right? Which is good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Some
absolutely.
some you kind of like, I get
Yes.
it. Some are
Yes.
like, oh, I didn't see
Yeah.
that coming, which is good. You want to see that. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, exactly, and that's what you want because that's what it's going to keep you on the edge of your seat, right? Because I mean, with these shows, the person's not going to die. You know this, right? I mean, don't be stupid. But how they show you, how they build the tension, and how he gets around it, and how he solves it, that's what makes
Yeah.
it entertaining, and you want to watch, right? And so yeah, definitely must watch, recommend, put on your list,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
and
Yeah,
it's a
for me,
fun ride.
like I said, she was a streaming savage with the show. So we watched it like in 2 days. So she just kept wanting to watch it, and she was very happy when I told her it got renewed for season 2. Kind of curious where they go with that, but yeah, cool characters, very good show. Yeah, Netflix, a good hit. I think it's doing pretty well. Obviously, it's done well for them as they already greenlit it.
Well, I guess I don't know, but that surprise where you finally find out the
Yeah, you're
truth,
right. Like I
I
said,
was
things
like,
things didn't
damn.
go exactly how you thought,
See?
which is good. I like to see that. I like to be, be
Yes,
surprised by
yes,
you. Okay, some of these shows
yes.
are predictable, particularly with thriller shows, right? And there's some aspects you're like, okay, but there's a lot of stuff where like, oh, okay, I didn't see that. Or I did not expect that, particularly with his father. At the end of that review, at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
episode, that was very
Mm-hmm.
interesting, and I liked it. I liked that approach. I didn't like feel bad. I was like, you know what? I liked it. It was well set up, and it made sense. How they decided to wrap that up. And I got a feeling that's going to
Yes,
be more.
absolutely.
We're going to dive more into that in the second season. But yeah, the Night Agent and Netflix, absolutely, really, really good show on that one for sure. So if you haven't seen that, put that on your watch list. And we have some more shows. Not a lot this week. It's a small week, a chance to catch up. Like shows like The Night Agent, of course, or
I
maybe
know.
something like Unseen or Shrinking, things like that are still going on. Ted Lasso, hello. And Power, if you didn't get a chance to see those. So give you a
Oh my
chance to really
God,
catch up on some of these
awesome
other
Ted
shows.
Lasso.
Uh,
Dude, all I gotta say, that show just has the dialogue in that show. I mean, you
yeah,
have to pay
yeah.
attention because they throw so much. The whole scene inside the locker room start going off on the
That
Julie
was
Andrews
fantastic. Yeah, that was just
movies. And calling her precious moments and Roy Kane saying because he's a
I mean,
fat little bitch.
God,
And when when he walks out, he's like, "You being right?" No, I wasn't being ironic. I was
yeah.
being hypocritical. He walks out.
This,
I
that
was like,
show is
"Oh shit,
fantastic.
he
It's still,
was."
proven again, it's the best comedy on TV as far as I'm concerned. One of the best shows, period, on TV.
Yeah.
Let me shortchange it by just calling it
Mm-hmm.
or pigeonhole into a comedy, right? Great show. Yes, well, again, this is a chance this week to catch up on a lot of these shows because it's only like we got 4 things lined up, so it's not a lot. The first one is on Disney Plus, which already concerns me, but we won't get into that. The crossovers in
Here
the
we go.
show is about a show
Here we
focusing on a
go.
couple of very talented, twins, right?
Twins.
Basketball players. Mhm.
Yeah, twin basketball. I don't know if they're phenoms, but I
Right,
mean,
they're
obviously
highly
highly
touted,
rated
recruiting, whatever, and then just
basketball
kind of coming of
teams.
age kind of thing. I'll give it a shot. I'm a basketball
Hmm.
fan. For the Disney Plus, so let's see if this thing gets too Disney-fied for my liking anyway. The next one on the 6th is called Beef. This is Steven Yeun, who Walking Dead fame, of course. We got Ali Wong, she's great. I think we
Hmm.
saw her plenty of things. She was in definitely maybe I think if I'm not mistaken on Netflix, which
Was that
yeah,
the
I
Keanu
believe she was
Reeves
in it.
cameo
I
one?
believe.
Oh, okay. Oh, and also the other guy, what's his name?
Oh,
From
Pac.
MCU.
Last name. I forgot his name. But either way, but I don't
Uh,
know if he's in this one or not. But I know Stephen Young's the main
yeah.
character, as far as the male character. But basically, these two, they guess victim of road rage for each other. Now they kind of have a rivalry or something. Supposed to be a comedy. I didn't see a trailer, so I'm not sure. Let's see. I like Ali Wong. I like Stephen Young, so why not? And then we have
Mm.
on Freevee, which I forget what Freevee even is, but it's I guess a free channel on Amazon Prime, right?
Freebie is what used to be IMDb. It was free to stream, but I think Amazon acquired it, made it one of these paid ad
Mm-hmm.
supported free channels, and so and they have. I started watching it because obviously I went to, we were
Oh, right,
watching
right, yeah.
Bosch, right, Legacy, and a couple other things. Um,
Oh,
Hold on,
so
sorry, I
bad.
lost the light.
Um, but yeah, no, this
Stupid
one you
dog.
yeah, go ahead.
And so yeah, if you have Amazon Prime, then you can catch it, right? Because it's just free. It's look for freebie and just add it to your channels. They have a number of actually funny shows, but this is
Yeah,
one
it looks
that's a brand
interesting.
new
So I
one's
think from the
coming out.
minds of The Office, if I'm not
Uh,
mistaken. So
under the
that's always a plus.
Yeah. So this is a yeah. So the premise is this is a jury selection, right? But where the people don't know that this is
Right, I
a
think it's just
fake
one guy doesn't know.
case.
I think that's what I got. Like, there's one guy who's legit. Yeah, everyone
No, I think it's
else,
more. No,
actors,
I
all
think it's
actors,
more.
and the
No,
jurors, and the whole case, but the one guy that thinks it's real.
I think it's more. I think most of the jury is not in
Yeah,
on
and
it.
then
But
yeah, so
let's
they're trying
let's
to,
see.
obviously that's one of those like they
Yeah.
think it's real when it's really not. It's all staged. Interesting premise, so I'll definitely catch that one.
Mm.
And the last one is Transatlantic on Netflix. New drama focusing on
Yeah.
based on a true story back in the 40s. Like me, my Nazi comeuppance. I don't know if this one goes to that degree, but it's a couple of American one journalists, I believe. They partner up with some other people who help like over hundreds of maybe close to thousands of artists flee. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Nazi
Get people
of
out. Yeah.
invaded France at the time. So trying to for someone to get them out. Looks interesting. I'll check it out. I like the time period. I like those kind of shows. So yeah, so those are the four. And that's on the 30th, I believe it's on a Friday. I think I have the wrong date on here. It's actually April.
Yeah.
My bad. April 7th is this one. I had the 30.
Which is
The 7th or the 6th. Yeah, that's
Sunday.
Friday. Yes, same day
No,
as
Friday.
Jury
That's
Duty.
Friday. That's
Some
Friday. That's
apologies, I
Friday.
had the wrong date on there. But yeah, so
Okay.
Transatlantic, Jury Duty, of course, Crossover, and The Beef. Those are the four shows we're dealing with next. And of course, we got a couple of shows ending. We'll probably talk about those as well. I'm glad some of the ending, not so glad the others. So let's see. So that being said, we appreciate it again. Check us out here every Sunday. Go over all the shows, let you know what's coming out, recommendations, subscribe, hit the notification bell, like, share, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace.